I can't wait for this one. I have to deliver. I have to drop the hammer hard. Now, why do we have the left and right hemisphere of our brains? Why do we have good and evil? Why do we have man and woman? Why do we have these very binary systems in place, yet evolving beyond them? Why? Because one is for survival and the other is for thriving. We know we cannot create from a place of reaction. We have the memories stored, the data collected in this beautiful thing here to keep us going. Thriving is something else. Where do we thrive from? Where do we excel from? Creation, not survival. My fellow human beings, are you ready? Because we made it here. We made it here now. The past, we are learning, is only relevant in the form of data collection. The future is only relevant because we know what our potential is and what it is not. All right, so thank you. Let's get into these systems that help us remember the place that we create from. Our limitless potential stored in our genetic makeup, in our DNA. Yes, my friends, our DNA, our limitlessness, our infinite potential, our wondrous potential. So, in meditation, for example, what are we doing? We are elevating, my friends. Yes, we are. We tap into the systems, and we can analyze people that can really meditate, and we see that their brainwaves are traveling and frequencing or harmonizing or whatever they're doing at such a high level that they're activating parts of their brain that are not normally active. Okay, so let's go throughout history. We know that there was a cataclysmic event about 12,000, 13,000 years ago. You look at the South America, you look at Brazil, you look at the rainforest. Now, because I have a little girl, I get to learn our perception of our earth throughout time and space. And currently we know that time and space is just some weird interesting form or system that we agree to. But it doesn't really hold anything significant other than a spot placer to collect the data. All right. So people like myself, I don't feel like we can own land. No. I feel like we are given the ability to be birthed from the land, of the land, by the land, for the land, continuing to give back, to create for tomorrow. Not from this idea of survival. No, I need not be complacent ever. There's something inside me that that thanks the hardness, the hardship. There's something inside me that inspires me when things get hard. I look back on myself and I made it through that. I look at my family members. I look at my brother and I'm just like, whoa, that kid had to deal with that and he made it through it? Whoa, I better not be complacent. I better use that as fuel to create more, not just for myself, but it is a gift. It is a privilege. It is an honor to create more for everyone. So if I am going to be complacent in that and take up a, a temporary holding place, at least when I lay in bed at night, I realize, whoa, think of all the me's of the past that didn't get to sleep in a comfortable bed. What a fucking privilege. All the men that evolved to build our society. Thank you, men. All the men that look like me, that are being bashed collectively. It's okay, my brothers. We don't need to say nothing. We know what we've done. We know how hard we've worked. Thankless, tireless. And we know how hard the women have worked too, which is why most normal people like me just keep our mouth shut. Yeah, it's okay. I don't need to be thanked. I was never thanked before, and I don't need to be thanked now. I don't need any strange form of recognition. I don't do it for that. I do it because it's a privilege. And that is privilege. Privilege is to not slow down because a bunch of haters are hating. No, see, that's that reptilian side of us all. We know different parts of our brain wake up different parts of our genetic experience. So let's just say that these words that we have evolved to use to remind us of ourselves start to steer our ship a little bit. So we get back to this idea of reptilian, this idea of lumerian, this idea of Atlantis. Like, hey, we know the Amazon forest was planted now. It was planted. It was planted by a native people that didn't build permanent homes. Why didn't they? Because they were children of the land. You cannot own land. You can only experience it in all of its wonder and gifts. Just like you can't own another human. But then you look at all other civilizations. All other ones. There's slavery. There's human sacrifice. But then we get caught up, and that's the reptilian mind about you did that, you did that, you did that, you did that. I blame you. What are you creating from that place, my friends? You are creating more blame. You are creating more victimhood. You are creating more strife that we need to survive through. My friends, that chaos is no longer necessary. We have learned. We have woken up the other parts of our genetic evolution, of our DNA, of our systems that make us infinite. We have no reason to fight. We have every reason to evolve. It's your privilege. If you are here today, it is not just your responsibility. It is your duty. It is your obligation to the world. Stop falling for the bullshit. The Amazon was planted for a reason. It's trees. Trees that feed us. Fruit trees. An original podcast I did with Mr. Microbe, we discovered certain parts of the Sahara. We see that the Sahara may not have always been what it is now. And then we look at different people of the past that tried to create and may have been suppressed. But see, that's the thing. So let's stay focused. Just like when Uncle Rodney was telling us our stories. He would display his infinite wonder and ability when he was speaking from a place of positivity. But then he would veer off sometimes and start to speak of pain and suffering. And then he would project blame and anger and victimhood. And the stories no longer made sense. They started to veer off in this really weird and uncomfortable place. And then I would swim closer to him in the waters, and I would look at him in the eye, and I would ask him, Uncle Rodney, come back. And he would snap out of it. He'd say, oh yeah, yeah. And then he would start to tell his inspirational stories again. And you see, gifted with the ability to see all forms, human, alien. I know it's not easy to conceive. I know. Trust me, I know. Just know it's possible. All parts of your DNA, of your genetic makeup, they're all there. Everything that it has ever taken to make you is alive inside you. There is nothing to limit you except yourself. 95% of your DNA is undiscovered. The galaxy, 95%. The sea, what does that remind you of? Yourself. Come back to yourself. You're not here to survive. You're here to thrive. You're here to thrive. You created me. I'm not even real. You made me to remind you of this. You are not limited by anything. I did want to give you more proof of this. I did. Just maybe set out on finding those stories of the past, lost Atlantis, the Anunnaki. Look at the cataclysm. So the data that we have collected scientifically, the archaeologists, the geologists, look at what they have found in the glaciers. Don't get it lost in this, oh my God, the glaciers are melting, we're all gonna fucking die, global warming, la la la. No. Us humans do have an impact on everything, my friends, yes. Of course. Of course. We are using the Earth's resources. You are using your body. You are not your body. You are using it. The native people showed us how to use it, to rebirth it. You get that? You get that? It doesn't mean you don't have the warrior inside you. Of course you do. Motherfucker, I would choke you out. Try to kill anything of mine. I dare you. Actually, let me take those words back. See? That's that warrior. That's a warrior in all of us. We don't need that right now. We need the creator. We need what's stored deep down. We need to wake up all those genetics. We don't need the Neanderthal. We don't need that. We need the phoenix. We need that bird elevating from itself, rising from the ash, looking down at itself, living through it all. and then right back into its body, elevating. So then you look at ash. I'm a farmer. I know I could go burn some charcoal and throw it down in the soil, the desert landscape, and then magically grow whatever the fuck I want. But now if I'm a Neanderthal surviving, I'm not going to think about those things, am I? I'm just going to kill whatever's closest to me to survive. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. I'm surviving. You gonna tell me how to survive? I don't think so. We are here where we are today. We don't need to survive no more. We don't need to behave like that. We don't need to be negative. We don't need to be haters. We don't need to be crime committers. We don't need to be adulterers. We don't need to be rapists. We don't need to be little bitches. No. It's time to drop the hammer of evolution, my friends. Rise. Rise as one. One. Stop the separation. That's what inspired this. Oh, I even forget what it's called right now because I'm in such a place of creation where we're blaming some strange thing, but then not realizing that we're isolating. We're criticizing the binary and making this way the right way. That's the same thing that got us here. Thank it. You survived through it. Now thrive with it. Can you do it? Can you dig it? Can you flex your spiritual muscles? Can you wake up your limitless DNA so that you can walk and hold hands with the Creator? Just in a place of gratitude. Wow. All right. Anyway, back to my, whatever. Fun. I love you. Thanks for creating me.